Is it weird not doing Fashion Week?
I actually think it's amazing. I love a runway show, but I like that designers now have the ability to just imagine their work in a whole different way, to really have this unlimited creativity, because you're not at the mercy of this kind of like structure that has been in place for so long. I think it's exciting. Yeah.
I think also the audio element of fashion is really huge. I mean, we do our podcast called Ageless, which we talk about fashion, but I think also apps like Clubhouse have been making huge fashion figures like Virgil Abloh way more accessible. I think that's something that's really connecting the customer to the designer.
Are you guys on Clubhouse?
I am, yeah.
I've been thinking about it. I've been invited, so I'm going to do it.
What has been the best advice, Cynthia, that you've gained from Kit?
I learn from Kit every single day. She's very grounded. Not that I live in a fantasy world, but so much of my job is like imagination and thinking outside the box. And I think she always kind of like sets it straight, like, okay. So I think she has a good sensibility and a good perspective on fashion and the world. So she's my touchstone for a lot of.
Right. No, that's great.
I already call myself a boomer now because I'm 21. Even like with Clubhouse, for example, I have to spend hours on that app to understand some of the trends. And yet my sisters like explained it to me in 2 seconds. So I have to continuously like change up my routine to invite these new technologies and new platforms into my life. For me, I think that Instagram has really become a place of positivity for me. I think prior to that, it was very toxic. I was really only following like people that I looked up to for their aesthetic, models and influencers mostly. If you have to follow those people, mute them. Otherwise, unfollow them. And in the past year, I've really shifted that to follow a lot more mental health accounts,
socially responsible, cooking accounts, and things that bring me joy. But I think at this point, the algorithm knows like that I'm not there for toxicity. Right. So it's definitely gotten a lot more tailored to like healthy recipes and fun stuff like that.
That's such good advice. And anyone who's following Kit, she's probably not following you because she's muted you. What's the best advice, fashion advice your mum has ever given you?
My mom is more in the camp of keeping the extra accessory on or like taking risks more with fashion. And I'm more in the neutrals camp. My style is definitely more minimalistic. I have a very vintage aesthetic with my style, but sometimes I think it's actually vice versa, where my mom will be like, that looks hot, wear that out or whatever. Otherwise, I'll just wear like kitten heels and like a turtleneck every day.
Early on, I was like, this is her form of self-expression. And if she was 2 years old and wanted to wear a tutu and a happy birthday crown every day, I'd be like, great.
Which I did.
Kit's sister wore a Barbie life jacket to the first day of kindergarten.
Oh, is there any Kit moments like that?
Oh, yeah.
Go on, embarrass her. Go on, give us one.
Ever since she was little, any excuse to wear fishnets and red lipstick, that was always...
It's so the opposite of me.
How sophisticated.
Yeah, I think I like went through my rebellious dressing age when I was like in 5th grade. Every Halloween, I wanted to be a French maid, a sexy nurse, and now
something.
I'll maybe be like a teddy bear, or like something like so
inflatable.
Yeah.
Cynthia, you designed your first dress, I read, at 7 years old.
I started sewing when I was really young. I still have that same joy. I sit down at the sewing machine and I'm so happy to be going through that creative process every little step. I draw every day and drape, and I just think it's part of the process.
And have you picked up those skills as well, Kit?
Definitely not. I don't have the tactile like creative energy that my mom does.
Right.
I'm very logical and business based, I think. Not as much of like the recluse, creative vibes.
What? Actually, let me just set the record straight. That is what I love about fashion, is the collaborative spirit that I get to have every single day. I see everything visually, and I think Kit sees it as intellectually.
Have you guys designed anything together? Would we ever see a collaboration?
Sometimes, like if it's a big event.
If it's a big event, like for me, then usually I will help design it and then my mom gets it made.
I just
So
want
the CFDA dress, which I loved, it was a couple of years ago, I believe. I was there and I saw you guys walk past. It was so beautiful.
It's really fun because a lot of the things that we've worked on, like the CFDA dress or a lot of the dresses that I have worn this season on The Bachelor, it was born out of our own imaginations, and then it becomes something that all of my mom's customers and my followers can wear and buy. So that's really cool.